Hey everybody, this is Trevor with Patrick Adair Supplies, and today we're going to be going over the April sub-bots.
Every month, we dive into epic tutorials that break down everything you need to know to make awesome rings with your monthly sub box. We'll cover the tools, the materials, and techniques you need to turn your box into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Whether you're a first-timer or a pro, you're in the right place.
The contents of this box include violet and slate blue pigment, purple and blue glow powder, our fuchsia opal, and our cotton candy opal. And to finish it off, we've got a double channel ceramic ring blank. Since the channels in these are really small, we are crushing up the opals to make them to be in a more manageable size to get a really nice dense packing when we are making the ring. You don't need to use a ton of your opals, so you should have a lot left over for any other future endeavors. Is about a consistency that I'm going for. Now we will be filling up our vials. I usually do about 3 heaping scoops with our scupula, and then filling the vial about 3/4 of the way full with the corresponding glow powder, and then just give it a good shake. And I will be doing that with both of these colors. You can either add more pigment or more glow powder depending on how vibrant you want those colors to be. It is just a personal preference. It also helps if you have a little ultraviolet flashlight or something to see how strong that glow powder is, to see if you want to add more glow. Just whatever you prefer. After we are done mixing all of those, we're going to get started. Since we have 2 channels, we will be doing them one at a time, trying to minimize any cross-contamination with different colors. I'm doing the inside channel first on both sides because I do have a fan blowing on me and I want to minimize any possible cross-contamination of colors. So to start off, we're doing a small layer of the thick CA just at the base of the ring channel, pouring on our cotton candy opal, followed by our slate blue glow mixture. I'm just blowing off the excess, making sure there's no black ceramic peeking through. And to really make this a nice dense inlay, I will be going over it again with some more of that crushed cotton candy opal. And this time I'm doing it in small segments just to make sure that we get a really nice dense packing. To hold it in place, I am just using a little drop of the super thin, and I'll be doing that all the way around until it is nice and packed and full. Alright, and then after that is all packed in, I'll be going around again with the super thin, just to make sure that everything is held in place, and to make sure we don't get any of the purple leaking over into that in our next step. I am going to be just slowly building up the rest of the ring with our super thin, just treating it like it's one of our single channels. I just don't want any holes or any, I guess, empty gaps that our purple pigment could fall into. So once that is built up, I'm switching the sides again just to make sure the fan doesn't blow any pigment in that direction. And we're starting off with our small layer of thick CA, our crushed fuchsia opal on top of that, and then filling in any of that empty space with our violet glow mixture and blowing away the excess, double checking to make sure no black ceramics peeking through, and then just making that inlay even more dense by coming back with that crushed fuchsia and slowly filling in the rest of that space, holding it together with a drop of super thin as we go. Once that's all filled in, I am building up that side now with the super thin, just to seal in any gaps and make it so everything will be nice and uniform when we sand it down with our rotary tool. Once it's all built up, I am taking an 80 grit sanding drum on my rotary tool and just sanding that down nice and flush. And after that is nice and flush, we'll be doing a quick wet sand with 220 grit sandpaper just to clean up any deeper scratches from using that rotary tool. You don't need to do this. I just like to. Personal preference. I think it will hide any imperfections that rotary tool can cause. Since we did have a lot of packing down opals, I am going through and double checking that when we did use the rotary tool, we probably exposed some holes or some empty spots. So I'm just going through looking for those and gently picking them out with a razor blade. You probably have a hard time seeing them on camera, but when you look at it in person, they're generally just a cloudy white spot that if you gently touch with a razor blade, it'll just kind of cave in. Then I'm just taking the corresponding colors to each hole and filling it in. I just pour a little bit on top and wipe it off, and then generally whatever's left in the hole is the perfect amount. I'm going to do that for both sides, brushing the pigment away from the side that it is on so we keep it nice and clean. And then once all of those little gaps are filled in, I'm going to do a layer of super thin just to seal that all up. And I generally like to do about 3 layers of super thin after we do that wet sand after the rotary tool, just so that if we took away too much material with the rotary tool, this will build it up and give us a nice good finish and a nice looking depth with it. So once that super thin is all done, we are using the 220 grit to start off. Again, make sure you're always wet sanding. It will be easier on your hands and it will give you a much nicer finish. After that 220, I'm switching to 500 grit. And after the 500, onto the P1000. And I just wanted to double check one more time to make sure we didn't have any holes left over or any of those white spots. And I did notice one little spot. And if you know me, I am a perfectionist. So even though this is just a tutorial ring, I want to make sure the ring looks as nice as possible. So I am digging out that little hole and just using a little dab of super thin to clean that up, followed by another round of that P1000 sandpaper. And it cleaned that up nice. Once I find it satisfactory, I am taking our polishing paste and giving it a nice once over. You don't need a ton. I usually use about a pea-sized amount for each ring. And once that is finished, I'm cleaning that off, and we are left with a really nice looking ring. I think these colors complement each other super nice. You get a ton of depth in this ring with all those small pieces. They're really nicely packed. The opals give off really cool colors at every angle. And overall, I'm super satisfied with this ring, and I think you guys will be too. Come back next month for the next tutorial. Thanks guys for joining us every month. We all appreciate it.